for this game one of Thunder Awaken versus Invaders. Again, this is an elimination matchup, so long road still to go in order to get a spot at DreamLeague. And a bit of redemption for some of these players who probably imagined that they would have been. I mean, some of these players once upon a time were on top not so long ago. Like you said, Dark Mago and C Smile. Probably two players in this whole matchup that probably had their biggest heydays and directly replaced each other. So,
and now they must face each other once more here, and it's a pretty interesting matchup. I think this OD Ember matchup is one of those things where 3 or 4 years ago, Ember got smashed. And It wasn't even close. Now, I don't think that's really the case. I think Ember does fine in the matchup. You probably lose it because, I mean, you're melee hero versus OD. But this matchup's not that bad. And you're also this Mage Slayer Ember who you can deal with some of the magic damage coming out and like Sanity's Eclipse a bit better. But of course, OD is one of these heroes that doesn't give a damn either. Like, this Arcane Orb, you can't reduce it. It just goes and it chunks you. So I think this matchup can go a bit. It definitely goes both ways more nowadays, but they picked it for a reason here. And if OD gets out of control, Ember's not stopping him. I think that's how most people look at it.
Sure. And you have to question whether or not Monkey and Centaur are going to be able to stop him either, considering the fact that they have a save behind this OD, potentially, right? I mean, I feel like this is one of those, like, the OD plus another save is one of the most obnoxious drafts to play against in Dota. It just feels so annoying just watching them save each other all the time. Every one of your goes, you have to plan out a second and third go after that because you know there's going to be something to stop what you originally planned.
They do have some tools to counteract it, I guess. I think locking people in a Wukong. Wukong don't care about no save. You're still in the Wukong. And they have Stampede to maybe get the cores in deep. And it's like this SD pick. I think if they can get good demonic purges off, then your shields don't... Like, you can dispel, you can pop a BKB or something, but you're still purged, and you might still just be getting hit by the monkey. But I do think it pushes a lot of weight to Lumiere here. Like, this monkey really needs to pick up the damage slack, because the rest of the magic damage from the other two cores is going to get dispelled to a certain degree, right? Like these late game team fights, you can't just jump in, hoof stomp somebody and rely on that. You can't chain somebody and rely on that to set your AA ult up. There's an Abaddon here, there's an Astral. They can reset these fights, so you really need to play around the Monkey King's damage. Hope he has a good game here, which he should. Again, they saw the lane. AA is gonna fight this line pretty well. It's a pretty free matchup for the Ancient Apparition.
Yeah.
So far, it's going pretty well for him. Monkey King is free farming. And so is the Centaur. So both side lanes going pretty well for Thunder early.
Yeah, and Dark Mago doing very well for himself the start of this matchup. Obviously, it only gets harder and harder. The higher levels of imprisonment come in. The Arcane Orb starts beating you to a pulp. But he did get the most out of the early waves where it's easiest. So
I think level, 5 is where OD starts to become really annoying because he just wears your regen out with the extra points in Astral, and then at some point he threatens an ult.
Had his water rune sniped away from him.
They're really trying to set Dark Mago up for a world of pain right now. This is what OD can do. He can just wear you out. The downside is OD isn't really a bottle buyer. Zero never really buys bottle. He can't use the water runes as well, so that's why they're trying to deny him from Dark Mago, even it out. And that's why most heroes can kind of stand against him in a lot of these early waves better than they used to. Right now, it is Dark Mago taking advantage of it. 14-3. He's doing very well in this matchup. Again, it's like C-Smile trying to get the 5 and then just kill him with an ult at some point.
Yeah.
If that doesn't happen, though, Ember's going to have a pretty free game.
First Lotus is getting picked up. Looks like Smash gets his top lane. Disruption into Double Edge, into a Stomp, into another Double Edge. They are stacking up quite a bit of poisons. He's actually ran out of mana. So they don't have the final amount of firepower to kill that event. They throw a lot of resources there. And Gotaro's probably very happy, but they do manage to get the first blood. That's going to be the Lion dying as I think that whole Lotus play maybe put them a little bit out of position. Looks like Lumiere and MJZ managed to take advantage of it.
Maybe just not expecting an early tree dance either, but catch him off guard. Tough lane for Slodden so far. I mean, he was still level 1. He will just hit 2. He can't really abuse the pull either. Their lane just isn't strong enough to combat the A monkey on the side, so it's MJZ winning all these camp battles right now. Misses the small camp stack, but what can you do? He'll race for the runes instead, and Dark Mago will get a water rune here. Feels like all these lanes are going Thunder's way in small ways.
Level 2 Hex. Feel like the only way you're really going to be able to win this matchup, or not even win, but just survive, is Lion Tidehunter against Monkey King AA, is that you just drain them of their mana, and they're just like a little less potent when they go on you. So
yeah, this is like you're going to try and all in the AA or something with Gush, Impale, Blood Grenade, Hex. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's hard when the monkey can play up and help him.
Yeah, exactly. The monkey's anywhere close, then even if you do kill the Ancient Apparition, chances are the monkey is going to be either killing you back or killing a lot of your resources, a lot of your heal.
They are dragging some of these lanes back. I think mid lane's going to get better for C-Smile. I mean, Kataro will freeform him up here almost no matter what. I don't think they can do anything to him, so maybe Smash is going to have the hardest time here out of all the cores on the map. It's just hard for him to stay in the lane, even solo. He can go clear through the small stack. That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's a good use of his time. I would say maybe even start pulling around, but I guess it is always kind of hard to pull against a Monkey King who can chase after you with a tree dance, so gonna have to play the lane static for now.
Very obnoxious matchup. Though you can just stack. You can also just stack triangle here if you're slotted. That's one way you'll get your XP back. Accelerate the tide. Level 6 for C-Smile mid, but he got nowhere close to burning through Dark Mago's regen, so there's just no threat here.
Yeah.
6-minute power rune. Stacks being set up on both triangles as the contest comes out, and that's bottom.
Big pickup, manages to get it into his bottle, the Illusion Rune, and also has level 6. So he's free to start moving around if he wants and dodge this bad matchup for the Ember Spirit. Give maybe the support the lane. Maybe he'll try and stick it out a little bit longer.
It's not the best rune for him to try and make something happen, but you never know. Can maybe dodge Sanity's Eclipse with the Illusion Rune. That would be hype.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Missing a lot of
Oscar
mana too.
takes a bit of damage here, nothing major though. He's already got the Helm of the Iron Will, so he's doing all right for himself when it comes to this sustain.
I will say, I feel like Kataro he's had his way on this lane. Honestly, it's not the easiest matchup necessarily. If the Centaur can get aggressive early, burn Gyro's regen. Did get a raindrop purchase out of him, but yeah, he's just out there gonna gank him with everybody here.
Nice slight chains, the Aphotic Shield though. Kataro's going to turn a lot of damage back on Oscar. Not enough to kill him though. He's probably going to die. Aphotic Shield comes out. They have the monkey who's going to pounce right on top of him. They bring everybody to Wukong's command and they finally bring him down. MNZ falls, but a mana, big hit there. Big Sanity's Eclipse that almost finished off a couple of heroes. Does manage to collect both Oscar and MJZ. And Lumiere has to abandon his Wukong's command, knowing the damage isn't enough to kick C-Smile out, not with the Aphotic Shields behind him. So that's kind of what we were talking about earlier with the Abaddon. If you are able to finish up the Gyrocopter, there's still going to be a secondary damage-dealing carry, and he's going to work right now and finish off the Monkey King with Slodden popping out of the jungle just in time to stop the heal of the lifesteal. Might be able to get...
Smash shows up, and you're getting ravaged, son.
Yeah, straight up into the Ravage off of the imprisonment. No chance to be able to get a Remnant away.
And that was Dark Mago coming back in the fight for the second time off TP into base or Remnanting back. So he has no TP. He's going to have to walk out from base. That is a very sad end to that engagement for him. He just gets beat up the most. The raindrop on Kataro did massive work there, but just even proccing twice. So much extra HP with these shields going off. That's a max level shield from Yadomi. Like, that is... he must have got 4 or 5 of them off. 180 damage each. very tough to fight into it early for the Centaur and the Ember. That's just a tough go. Like, I think, okay, you want to bring everybody to kill this Gyro, sure, but the fact it took so long got extended and you try round 2, not favorable at all. Now you're giving a lot of experience to these dire supports that I don't think would have gotten it elsewhere. You know, they'll try and make another move.
They'll have a lot better chance of these goes once the Ancient Apparition is level 6, right? The shield's still going to be a problem, but you'll at least be able to cut down these heroes a little bit faster. But for now, the supports, you know, bit underleveled. Both being level 4, that is not something that's going to be happening anytime soon.
Just weren't enough pulls bottom for MJZ. Not that it was his fault, but I mean, that's like the ideal flow for the A, and if you win that fight, you also get XP, so he missed both opportunities. And because Dark Mago had the worst end of all that, this Ember isn't some super snowball Ember that can just run around and get kills for the AA with this combination. That it is pretty nice combo. Like, you chain him into the Vortex, Cold Feet. You know, if the Abaddon's not there, it's pretty nasty, but so far he has been there in all these fights, and he's already level 6, so this Abaddon is a beast right now. As well as Slodden just continuing to stack this triangle, setting up the Ancients for Smash to clear through later.
And then that means the power runes could be particularly important. See Smile. This one maybe not as important. An Invis rune, whatever. Just immediately breaks it. Hex, Dark Mago
here
in a little bit of trouble. Has to jump to his Remnant. He already pre-laid out.
I mean, this is one of the things about this match we have to be careful of is you get Astraled once, you don't have a large mana base. You can just get ulted down, especially if your shield runs out or C Smile can get 1 or 2 Arcane Orb hits in. You got to remember this OD, before he's like a level 10 or 11, he doesn't have max orb. His damage is pretty limited, but once he has it up, he's just raining down Hellfire. It changes all of these fights a lot. We'll see what he opts to go for here. I mean, he's going an Oblivion Staff build, so you know, it's either Mage Slayer or Orchid or something.
Smash has gotten himself back into a very nice spot considering his matchup. Obviously, that one fight, you know, he showed up, got to be a part of an Ember Spirit kill, was probably felt pretty good, but now he's cleared out the stacks. He's got Phase Boots Vlad's coming out to him right now. He's 3rd net worth overall, so.
Well, that's one way to buff the Gyro's damage. Just give him a Vlad's extra 20% here.
Yeah, make himself pretty tanky
well,
too. With he's gonna go Vlad's into Mage Slayer, so
yeah, pretty standard tie build, I think, and it'll have no issues this game. It's gonna be problematic for the Centaur and the Ember to get through.
Got him. Broke down his tree. Do they have the damage with the Finger of Death that they picked up and a second use of the Ravage? Why not?
God damn. That's why you buy a Quellen versus Monkey right there.
Yeah.
That is a big pickup. Finger charge as well as a free tier 1 here. No contest without that Wukong. And this is a Monkey King that, you gotta remember, he was supposed to have like the best lane of everybody and get to a fast battlefield here. He is trying to rush it here, Gloomier, but every time he dies, it gets delayed. The Battle Fury becomes less efficient. Big setbacks here as Smash asserts himself with 2 big Ravages and is suddenly top 2 on the leaderboard. He's having a great game.
See Smile, who just casually picked up the Haste Rune like 15 seconds after it spawned. Just nobody on Thunder Awaken really sitting on the top part. Just very comfortably farming away. If he gets Power Runes, great. If he doesn't, whatever, he's farming. It doesn't really matter too much. He's just trying to get to his Witchblade timing, which is where Odie's damage really starts getting scary. He's hitting you with maxed Arcane Orbs, and the first hit does a ton of damage with that damage over time.
He's having a good one. All these cores for Invaders right now, pretty much having their way with free farming. Like, the supports are just starting to clear through waves. Even with their ult, when their ults are on cooldown, it's just going to be Lion clearing through some creeps, getting some extra farm. Does not feel like the Shadow Demon AA have been able to find their footing so far.
Yeah,
They're
where
still
are the
searching for
level 6s, man?
It's rough out here. It's real rough. You're looking for 14-minute XP rune and praying that does it.
Well, Lumiere's going to try and see if he can catch back up with a gyrocopter with a Battle Fury build. Speaking of the gyrocopter, Kadira MNZ, he is halfway to his Aghanim Scepter after going for the early Chrysalis, which is just continue to be one of those gyrocopter builds. It's like the most damage efficient item you can get, so why not?
There's a question though. You go this Crystallis, you go this Ags. Normally you either going like Butterfly or Satanic for the survivability, right? I don't think you want either of those here. So what does it leave him with choices? I mean, are you just going Daedalus? Are you going some Disperser build? Could be interesting.
Yeah.
I have not seen a lot of carry Gyro this patch, so that's why I'm thinking about if there's some new way to itemize, because I don't think either the Butterfly or Satanic looks great here. Playing into the AA and just a bunch of magic damage.
Yeah, when he played the game yesterday, Crystallis, Ags, unfortunately the game ended too quickly. So he got a Dragonlance, but the game was over by 18 minutes. So he didn't really see item progression past that.
I mean, that sometimes happens to the Gyro, you know? Sometimes you don't get to make that item choice. It gets made for you. But this is a lineup where I think Invaders are just happy farming. And
yeah, I mean, they've got double carries, right?
Yeah, it goes back to that draft. Like this last pick OD, they could have gone the push route, but instead they went the farm route. That means you kind of have to get some stuff done with this Centaur Ember when your timing's hit. And right now, Oscar has Blink, has Veil. I mean, it's time to go, right? You got to get your supports in this game. You have your ults up now off that XP rune. It's time to battle. Got to create space for this Battle Fury Monkey King to pull ahead by going and slaying enemy heroes before this Axe Gyro just gets out of control, because it's coming. Kataro is just farming up a storm, and his rate only increases from here. He gets left alone.
Monkey King's also one of those heroes, I would say, kind of similar to illusion-based carries, where the early room, especially if you could take early towers, is very helpful because the hero can push in a lane really deep. And something that Monkey King can't really do right now with most of these tier 1 towers still staying up.
That's definitely true. You'll just have to resort to the old double ancient farming pattern. As the smoke does come out here, trying to activate the supports off the Centaur Blink. But where do you go? They're going to go for the Gyro.
They're going to run straight into the Gyrocopter.
Okay. That was incredibly easy.
That is dead on point. They're going to pop the Stampede just to make sure he actually does go down. Don't want to risk with the Abaddon coming in there. So this little lane ward that they had here on the side helping him out, but they may not be able to get out all the way. See Smile hunting, not in range of anybody. Oscar, he's got a TP, so probably fine. Same goes with the Shadow Demon.
Slotin's still smoked here. Might pop. Nope. Dodges it. Does have a blink already on this line, so they have initiation power of their own. It's kind of only him. I guess the Tide will get something later, but for now they're just going to look for pickoffs, continue to farm the map. They're going to look for Dark Mago bottom. Decent chance he gets caught here. Did not expect the gate rotation, and yeah, he is gone.
Oh, had to use that last bit, and the mana allergy no longer does damage, so that was the end of their burst.
Mage Slayer doing some work there, and I almost think you don't eclipse him, because the eclipse did nothing through the fire shield.
Yeah.
Whereas another Arcane Bolt might have just killed him. That was kind of counterintuitive, but he gets out of there. Tanky ass Ember.
Throw your pure damage because the magic damage isn't going to do anything to him.
Yeah, the new Eclipse it's just kind of garbo, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, there's very little ways to buff your mana pool relative to somebody else's. It doesn't do nearly as much damage as it used to. It's just kind of a trash spell. But, you know, it is an okay nuke. It's okay in team fights if you can land it on some multiple heroes. It gives you a little bit of extra EHP, but that is like a perfect case of why this spell is not what it used to be.
Yeah. Again, another kind of weird smoke situation there. Invaders just give up on it, say we're gonna hit the tower. We've got Smash, who has Vlad's Mage Slayer, Blink Dagger. Like, he is very big, and it's kind of doubtful that Thunder is gonna challenge them for tower kills right now.
Tough fight. I mean, unless you're willing to bring the monkey in and he's willing to commit, I don't think you're winning that. And right now, he's trying to get to BKB. He is the highest level in the game. Now, that's the benefit of the ancient farming pattern. Like, he's 15 and a half, so he's got 15 talent. He's got a level 2 Wukong. You get to BKB. He can definitely fight with BKB. Your downside of this, like, OD pick is you don't have a lot to deal with the BKB timings from Thunder. They want to commit for them. This hero just doesn't do anything to it, so then you're relying back onto your gyros damage, and it's going to be an early BKB for Kataro as well. So I don't actually know how much damage he's really doing in terms of right click, you know?
Yeah.
He also needs his 15 and 20 talents. That's what this hero's based around. And they could have some damage problems here in the next, like, 3 to 4 minutes that Thunder could take advantage of if they can get the team fight going around the Wukong. That's a big ask on Smashes. He's ready to rumble, man.
Meanwhile, Thunder get a Maelstrom soon on Dark Mago, and Oscar's completing the Shivas here pretty soon, so they'll have some hefty magic damage coming in.
Yeah, they're also tanking up. So items are just going to make them pretty damn tanky in the fight. Which is, I mean, where you want to be. Your supports have better sustained impact through these, like, vortexes and disruption illusions and poison. If you can just keep the fight going longer, you should be pretty happy. Nice
Good
blast to scout
ice
him out.
blast. That's going to hit 3 heroes and scout out the Roshan attempt. They're not going to move for it, though. Again, just opting. You can see Lumiere, he's like hitting mid lane right now, taking that tower. He's like, I don't want to fight into a Tidehunter, guys. Even with this BKB timing I have, I'd rather just take this time to farm.
I think that is a fight they can win if they can get there. I mean, I just think it's pretty hard to get there in time. And they rather just farm out the map. It's better to just play the efficiency game than make a move that fails. Because right now, they're still up a little over a couple hundred gold. It's a very even game, very low kill game. Both teams just farming for their timings. Let's see who thinks they're stronger first. But I have to imagine the Shiva's coming out for Oscar. You gotta want to use it, right?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm a
strong
Centaur,
item.
I'm getting a little anxious. You know, I haven't really been involved in too many fights.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I've hit my timing. I've hit my window where I feel very strong. I want to keep going.
Also, the more you fight gyro carry early, the happier you are, I think. Because this hero is kind of useless in, like, the first 25 minutes, you know? He just buys 2 farming items into BKB. He doesn't really do anything compared to most other cores in the game with good quality spells. So, yeah, he has an Aegis right now, but, like, I would not be scared of this Aegis. I don't think this Aegis is a reason for me not to fight. Whereas, if you let him get to a 4th or 5th item, then you might have a reason not to fight.
Well, they haven't
once
fought
more,
yet.
just back to
I'm going to
farm.
imagine we're probably going to be waiting until Scotty on Monkey King.
I guess so. We're in for a farm fest here.
Yeah.
Who would have guessed it?
And North America is 2 kills a minute. South America is 1 kill every 3 minutes. It's not what I expected.
Sometimes you gotta switch things up, you know, surprise people. NA has become the region of throws. SA has become the region for disciplined, consistent gameplay.
I remember we used to give shit to NA all the time for the slow farm fest that they would get into. Be like, how
look at
can
this
you
game.
beat Western European teams if you're gonna play this way? And now, now Western Europe is slowing it down. SA is slowing it down. NA speeding up. They got a push coming in here in the top lane. See if we could take this tower. No contest from a Thunder Awaken, as expected.
And level 15 for Kataro. So the level 15 and 20 talents on Gyro are still what kind of make this hero work. Damage and extra hits. Just want to put as much behind this flat cannon as possible, and he will go the Hurricane Pike build again, so he's just going to play for survivability, tank ability, and you're going to have a double Hurricane Pike lineup between him and the OD. It's a lot of kiting for the Wukong as well, which is a spell that has to do work here for Thunder Awaken in the fight.
Yeah, so I mean, super late game, you could talk about the Shard upgrade for the OD as well, right? Where he's able to, like, you imprison, and then you can move out of the Wukong's command. You combine that with these Force Staffs and stuff, like, they will have a lot of save and mobility to get around this, which you pointed to as one of the big things of, like, that's one of the ways to counter all this save, is just lock him inside that ultimate as much as possible. It doesn't matter how many saves you have, you're not going to run out of damage. MJZ, Force Staff up to the high ground, waiting for the anchor to expire so he can TP. He's not going to make it anywhere, though. Caught by Invaders, trying to invade a little too deep.
Man, Slotin's just been farming this game. He's getting fat on this line. Force Staff, Blink, Shard, already all done. This mana drain could be another problem in the fight. Especially if this fight gets dragged out of the Wukong and then you have to re-engage. It's going to be a nightmare. Like, it really is just putting so much weight on this Wukong to do an immense amount. And it's not easy. I guess Demonic Purge helps
I have to contradict you here, Avery. He got the Shard off the Tormentor. That one doesn't count.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying he has Blink and Force on top of it.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know? He's been hitting waves, man. He's got 40 CS. That's a lot for a lot. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it is.
Well, MJZ has 50 CS.
That's true. He's been farming too.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's been farming this game.
Yeah, just seriously, everybody's a farming. It jumped to the Remnant to jump away, finish off the creep wave, which will slow down this push that was coming in from Invaders.
Well,
maybe it's the name.
This game has slowed down. Yeah, they're not invading anything. They're invading another time slot here as this game drags on. But Aegis has expired and it got a tier 1. That's all it did. It also let Thunder Awaken get to their second BKB, right? They have a BKB on Ember now. And they bought a Blade Mail on Oscar. So, I mean, these cores are ready to go, man. Like, Scotty done on Lumiere as well. Everything is aligning here for Thunder Awaken. If they want to take a fight with double BKB, Blade Mail, Shiva's a lot of durability here.
And from what I was gathering, it seems like you think they should take a fight with all these items.
Please take a fight right now. You've geared up for it. The Aegis is out. Do not let Gyro get away with this period, right? I do not think Kataro is strong at all right now. If you get on top of it, he's just not going to output the damage he needs to. And C-Smile can't pick it up while you have this double BKB with long duration. OD has to wait for that to go away to really get his job done. So you just have some freedom right now. Push the lanes in, have a deep ward, smoke to it. Should be able to find something. They have one debuff right now, and they're showing on it.
Tail end of the smoke. Don't want to go for Tidehunter first. Abaddon's not a much better target, but it's something. As you said, maybe Slight Chains lands onto the creep wave. Now a Hex. They might be able to blow him up in time, trying to get up. Oh, good save. He has a chance to be able to get off his BKB. A good Ice Blast. Dark Mongo gets a little bit, but no, he couldn't get away to the Remnant in time. Lumiere does have a beautiful Wukong command set up, and his BKB will allow him to just beat down the Tidehunter. Still, though, that carry is still up on MNC, and the BKB is worn thin for Lumiere. Gets a Force Staff up to the high ground. Immediately, Slotin charges forward, trying to catch, wants to make sure they get as many heroes off of this as possible. A little bit of siphon going on there. Just right in front of their faces. Lumiere still sees an opportunity to get a support kill. Blows up the two supports nice and easy, but it's the carries. Motto a motto, but neither one of them wants to take the fight, it seems.
Wow, that was... Somehow we went from a perfectly even game to a perfectly even game in one of the most symmetrical team fights I think I've ever seen. 10,000 damage done by both sides. Or, yeah. You had 7,000 XP exchange from both sides and around 2,400 gold exchange from both sides, and both carries lived with the double kill, and they're both 5 and 2. That's. Are we in a simulation? I don't understand what's happening in this game. Like, what the hell? How do 8 heroes die and like nothing changes? We're just in the exact same spot. Okay, well,
Open AI has become too powerful. It's running our Dota games now.
This is an AI designed game for sure. We are in the Matrix. That was a very weird counter initiation off the Hex though, because they astraled the Ember and then Smash wasn't sure if he was dead. He wasn't sure if he should ravage him out of it. They had to like wait around this astral, which is what ultimately set up for that Wukong. Just really awkward. But obviously a very deep chase as well by Dark Mago that did not end well for him.
No.
And it'll reset this game. Both teams now looking for, I guess, the late game items that'll give them the damage. Daedalus finished for Kataro, and Shadowblade finished for Lumiere.
I mean, the worst part might be that Thunder Awaken, ooh, the smoke used on Oscar. They have to re-smoke. So this is a double smoke gank that's about to happen right now, which, you know, it's for second Roshan, so it is super important to make sure this next fight goes right, but spoiling a bit of your resources to do so. And chances are they're just going to run headlong into Smash, who probably won't give a damn.
No, he has saves behind him.
He just plays down, managed to get the anchor onto Dark Mago. They don't have the immediate follow-up.
Another
The jump
great
in from
Wukong.
Oscar. Lumiere does manage to hit a beautiful boundless strike, but he gets dunned up for a second. They have the Stampede trying to chase down MNZ. A little bit of save from the imprisonment. Dark Mago gonna go for the challenge onto this
Not
OT.
enough.
See if you can bring down C Smile, or the Gyrocopter falls as well. Thunder Awaken looking good for this fight. He's still going to chase down the cores and now clean up the back line, as the Abaddon's going to be chased down off the disruption, stuck in the trees, even worse.
Can't move. God damn, just jammed him in the corner. He had a gem as well, so that is a
nice.
massive teamfight win for Thunder Awaken. The symmetry has been broken here, as should also open up Roshan if it can spawn a little faster, but just another beautiful jump and setup for Lumiere here with this Wukong. Like, he just finds everybody he wants, and then they got the Demonic Purge on the gyro as well. That is really what clinches that fight. Kataro just couldn't get out of there. Like, you can't force staff him, you can't shield him, you can't do anything. He's just sitting there, BKB, getting smacked by monkeys. You can astral him, which happened, but then he just comes back and now his BKB's gone, and it's like, what do? You can't take the fight. I just feel like this gyro, he can't stand there unless he has Satanic. He's gonna buy Satanic, but he's doing it into Ancient Apparition. It is a tough move, right? Like, it just does not feel good. On top of it, you're buying Satanic to keep you alive versus Scotty and Shivas that are already on the board. Like, this is a rough Satanic purchase, and it goes back to that draft where I was saying, like, do you want to play this carry gyro into this lineup? It does not look fun to me. It just looks like misery, man. And so far, he's had an okay game, but is he going to continue to scale from here on out? I dropped the big question. And so far, this monkey is just taking over the fight.
They re-smoke up off of the thought that Invaders would contest this Roshan that has spawned, but seems like Invaders felt like they couldn't get to the pit in time. Imagine that, you know, it was probably going on the entire time, and then now they're just sitting here as like, are they going to do Roche or what?
I mean, I think this is just it's not a misread from Thunder, because, like, obviously there isn't too much downside here, but they should honestly just hit Roche, because, one, there's no Ravage. I don't think Invaders are fighting without Ravage. And two, it's a guaranteed Wukong fight for Lumiere. Like, if you just force the Roche right now, okay, let's say Invaders smoke into you. They can't jump you with Ravage because it's on cooldown, and if they just walk into you, you just Wukong the pit. They can't win that fight either, right? Like,
sure.
So I think them smoking it was just unnecessary there. They could have just insta-Roche, saved some time. Either way, they'll get it. No harm, no foul. That is a Roche banner and an Aegis to the Monkey King right here, and I guess now's the question, how far can you push your advantage? Is this a Aegis that lets you go high ground? Probably not, but it is an Aegis that lets you take a fight into high ground, if you can find it. So Invaders probably have to play a little scared.
We've gone a few games now with the Roshan's banner under effect. Have you really noticed an impact from it?
I mean, it creates pressure on the map for sure. It just puts the guy who has to deal with that lane in a position where it takes him a long time to clear through the creeps. It's annoying. I think it is a decent impact item. Though I also think that thing that the guy did in the random pub we played where he just threw it on a cliff for vision was pretty good, honestly.
Okay, no, you cannot equate those things. I'm asking if Roshan's banner has like changed how the game is played in some way. And you're saying, yeah, I think it has decent impact, and then you equated it to getting temporary vision on a cliff. There's no way.
I think you're underrating how good that is. It's a global ward placement that takes like 8 hits to kill. A ward takes 2. You can literally throw this thing from across the map on a random cliff and start the fight. Like, that's insane.
And so my point is then, at that point in time, this Roshan's banner must not be doing what it's intended to do then. Right? I mean, these super creeps must not be strong enough if you're willing to trade it off for a one-time ward sort of deal.
Maybe it has vision for a reason. It has hits for a reason. Maybe that's part of the intended use. Maybe Valve are wondering why people are dropping it for the creeps when they should be using it for the fight.
Okay, well, either way, they use their banner inside their own base, so mid lane's going to be constantly pushed in, and Invaders are also going to have to deal with a push coming in top lane.
I mean, they're looking to fight this. They have the Hex for C-Smile. They have the Satanic and the level 20 talent for Kataro. Maybe they're hoping this is enough damage with the Shivas for Smash completed as well, but it feels like jumping into this monkey is suicide right now. Like, you got to force him to drop an awkward Wukong that you can get out of. Not go into him in the Wukong. They're gonna force it.
There goes that Wukong's, and there goes the shard.
Okay. Yeah,
Tidehunter gets out pretty easily, and from a distance, OD is able to lay some damage onto the Ember Spear. Disruption goes out. Kataro coming in from behind, trying to finish off Lumiere, but the heals are too much, and he still has the Aegis as well, so this is not going the best for him. He's gonna get kited around a bit here. The Satanic BKB now on cooldown. Now, granted, he didn't lose his life either, so he did, I guess, successfully push Thunder Awaken back.
Still Ravage. And they got the BKBs out of... Well, they got the BKB out of the Ember. Smash was looking, but will not find it here. And successful defense here for Invaders, at least. I mean, that was also partial... That was like the reveal of some items, though, too, right? Now, if you're MJZ, you saw this Satanic on Kataro. You know you're probably holding your ult a bit more for this Gyrocopter than just throwing it out like you did there.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Invaders had some small things going for them there, but that is generally how they want to play the fight. Like, force out a Wukong and then get the hell out of it if that's your idea. And if Astral is strong enough where like Smash can go in, bait a Wukong, and just walk out of it completely, then that type of initiation is pretty free. Yeah. I'm surprised he got out of there that fast, but Shard has been buffed, I guess. And they're looking again, trying to surprise him right now.
Catch C-Smile. He still has a lot of people behind him. He's going to turn around and put some damage onto the Centaur. Dark Mago now trying to go for the kill on a C-Smile, but he already has a shield up. Pops the BKB for fear of a disable. Will kill the Lion. Nice.
They got the connection.
And now they got the Ice Blast onto the Gyrocopter. Just what they want out of a situation like that. No chance for a Satanic save there. Dark Mago's still in a bit of trouble here, but Force Stats will get him away. Slottin trying to get back to his high ground. He's fine for now. Lumiere. He's going to jump in. He breaks the Tidehunter for now, but should be able to put some good damage onto the tier 3 at least.
He still has Aegis for 15 seconds here if he wants to pop it. He's also level 25, so he has the extra Wukong ring. Pretty big deal that he got it this early. It's just so damn high level.
Okay, so they're going to wait for the Aegis to expire, get that regen, and then I assume they're still going to force things because they've got 35 seconds left. And the Gyro
Monkey wants to fight. No reason not to.
Hit the stun. Ice Blast coming in. It's going to fall short. The Force Staff's got him away, but the Wukong's ring, it surrounds all of these heroes. Once again, that imprisonment does manage to get them out, but it doesn't save the Abaddon. Gyrocopter holding on to his buyback for now, as there's the Ravage jump in from Smash. Didn't really catch the most, though. There was no follow-up to it, because the Gyrocopter, holding on to that buyback, refused to join in the fight.
Yeah, it's one of those Ravages you're like, oh yeah, all my damage is dead.
Yeah.
Looks okay on paper, but didn't do squat. Now you're without it for another minute and a half here.
Yeah, and they're chasing after these heroes like crazy. Slaughter just gets two-shot by Dark Mago very casually.
He is absolutely decimating Slaughter in these fights. Just can't stick on him with the slight. We'll get an anchor.
Good force staff up to the high ground. Gets C Smile out of that sticky situation.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Honestly, this matchup has just been really annoying for the Lion because he wants to sit there and mana drain, but the Ember goes in. If he's getting drained, he slights him, and then the drain gets broken, and Oscar just straight back in. This man does not care. He is way too tanky.
Side of Ice turn around. Once again, the disruption is always there from the Shadow Demon to bail him out. Now he's still going to take some of these shots, though. Has to use his BKB. Felt the pressure.
He's just getting the hell out. Aggressive play did not yield much, and that'll finish the Parasma for C-Smile. So, I mean, this Odie, he's had a rough game. He's not been able to do what he wants to do, but he's getting up there. This is where the hero starts to shine. This item, the Parasma, is what makes him in the meta right now. Just an insane damage spike. If you can start laying in the orbs on one of these cores during a Hex, during a Ravage chain, you have the ability to kill people now. I mean,
Now that
I'm
you've
still...
got the damage, do you go back for the Aghanim Scepter?
I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but he feels like it's good here. He can.
Doesn't actually get the break on him. Still has BKB. They jump in on Oscar once again on a C-Smile, and he's going to have to use his Force Staff to get out. Lumiere pops his BKB and chases after whoever he can find that's going to be slaughtered. Once again, slaughtered by the enemy cores.
Yeah, this game has not panned out for him. 1-6 on this line. He got very far, but wasn't able to do anything.
He needs a force. He needs a Ghost Scepter at this point. You know, or several plate mails. Physical damage of Ember Spirits and Monkey King are shredding him, even when he's magic immune or debuff.
That's what I was thinking. I was like looking at this itemization. It seemed good for pickoffs and if you can play aggressive, but the way this game has progressed in the last 10 minutes, it hasn't done much for him. And now he's just getting two-shot by the Ember of the Monkey. Feels real bad. Tough game here for Invaders as they find themselves down 20k. Abyssal done with this Monkey King. He is, I mean, he is kitted, man. Like, he does not need anything else in this game. He's just ready to shred people. And I go back to the crux of this draft, the crux of this game. Is Gyro ever carrying this game? Like, I just don't see it. His matchup versus Monkey's awful. This hero does not do enough damage. It's all spread damage, which isn't doing much here. He's not ever really seen the supports because they're super long-range supports, and both the supports ult make his life miserable. Just seems like such an uphill battle here for Kataro that he like put himself in this position on a hero that has been out of meta as a carry for a while for a reason. I don't know. I just haven't seen the like light at the end of the tunnel here for the game plan.
Well, the next stop is going to be Roshan number 3, which is coming up in a minute and a half. The Invaders are going to have to make that decision. I mean, they are holding their high ground decently, so they may think to themselves, we don't have to go out there and contest Roche, but they'll smoke up now. And MNZ Kataro's going to lead the way.
I mean, he has his Butterfly Satanic. This is prime Gyro time. Gotta get the job done. Find a Hex.
Oh, right into the Monkey King. He breaks the smoke and gets out for the most part. Sure, they get an anchor on him, but Smash is so far forward, so far ahead of the rest of his team, while Dark Mago is already stalled to the back line. He's managed to got the Abaddon ultimate out of him already.
Kataro
and the
in trouble.
Purge slowing down MNZ. He's going to hit him. Oh, Ice Blast. It gets the
It's still
debuff on him
debuffs.
without the damage, and he's got the Wukong's command. He doesn't
he's
have the
gone.
BKB, so he's gone instantly. A stun plus Wukong's command is guaranteed death.
Well, turn around.
Ooh, good turnaround, though. They do manage to get Dark Mago in the back line there. Finally dropping the Ravage, thanks to Slun's quick reactions, catching Dark Mago as he jumps forward. Oscar jumping even farther forward, leaving the charge for Lumiere, who's still holding
has
onto his
BKB.
BKB, so he's
My
going to put it
God.
to use now to try and beat down C-Smile, and he's got him easily, surely. Yep, they got him. Finally, the last bit of damage came through. The Shadow Demon was the one to claim it. A buyback from the OD. The C-Smile, this is sink or swim right here.
He's got to get something done. Now, he's just going to try and burst down the monkey. It's close.
And he gets
Got
it
him.
done. A godlike spree, a buyback, now worth it. Even more worth if you can find some additional kills like MJC, who's ducked his head into the trees, into the forest, trying to hide away, but he eventually will be found. So a second kill for C-Smile. Great read, I guess. I mean, maybe they didn't have another choice, to be frank, but he did manage to make it work.
I mean, to be honest, I don't think Lumiere should die there.
Yeah.
I think he lingered very long when you can just... You see the OD by, you get the hell out, you get Roche, because now... This Roche might go the way of Invaders. You might be able to put an Aegis on this OD or this Gyro. Gems also went down there. They're going to recover both. So, Thunder Awaken, they lost a decent amount there. They gave up the huge monkey kill, which was worth 2,500 gold, I believe. Yes. And they gave up gem control, as both gems are now in the pocket of Invaders. And they gave up, most importantly, this Roshan, which I think was theirs guaranteed after that Gyro just dies in the river. Is there a refresher shard? This is big. This is a double Ravage coming out now for Smash.
So
And
I thought it was kind of
Aegis for,
interesting.
like, OD.
C-Smile was thinking about a Moon Shard, and I was like, all right, that makes sense if you get the Aegis in your hands, you know, like, then you could just max out on the damage. But he's still going to go back for the Aghanim Scepter. I guess maybe finding that the Wukong's command is just too much of a threat for him a lot of times.
I mean, he just needs to stay alive long enough to wait out the Monkey BKB. Because like we saw at the end of that fight, if Monkey has BKB and he's fighting him, he can't do anything. You just die 100-0. So I guess any sort of fight prolongment is good here. He's backpacking Refresher Shard as well, which would, I mean, it'd give the OD to everything. Is that better than Double Ravage? Maybe. And since his OD is the one that really has to deal the killing blow, so to say. Let's see if he has the item slots to use it all.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Smash wouldn't really have the mana to use Double Ravage if he wants to be throwing around other spells as well. I mean, his Shiva's going to be costing mana.
It's
he
close.
wants to
Yeah,
use
it's
Dead
close.
in the Water, so pretty much those two things plus Double Ravage, he's kind of out. Wouldn't be able to gush, wouldn't be able to anchor Smash.
Problem is, you're kind of dealing with this monkey a bit, but the monkey just got his own refresher, so Lumiere is truly 6-slotted now, and that's double Wukong, double BKB to deal with. They're going to try and poke this Ember. They have enough burst.
Oh, Stampede, that's going to help him get the distance away from these follow-up disables, and he will live.
That
Missile will
though.
fall him all the way back home, but
I mean, they've been
Smash is
catching
going to
him.
chase after him. He wants to get the anchor on him. Doesn't get it in time, though.
Well, that's all his remnants. Something.
That's true.
I mean, you got to get something out of this Aegis, you know, assert something on the map, get some towers or get a fight going. You're not going to get a better opportunity to come back than this. And again, you're looking down the barrel of double Wukong's command. Unless you jump the monkey first, you're just going to have to battle through it. That looks very tough, considering they haven't really been able to deal with one set of this.
I was thinking about it. I think Thunder Awaken have a better banner strategy. I think you should be always placing the banner. If you're going to place it in your base, you should always place it in the mid lane, because it's just shorter lane. So the creeps will still have that buff by the time they get to the enemy base. Whereas you put it to the side lanes, even if the lane is entirely empty, it'll have it for like a couple of seconds at best by the time it hits the tower.
I really dislike this place it in base in a side lane. I honestly hate it in general, but this side lane is definitely worse than mid. I just think placing in base is like, I don't know, man. Like, have some balls. Like, just place it in the middle of the map. Be like, come,
no, I
come
think
kill my
it's dumber
banner.
to place it in the middle of the map. You have a free buff on these creeps if you place it, especially in the mid lane, in your base. There's no reason to risk your banner.
No, see, the risk is that's the excitement in life, you know? That's what creates the fun. Nobody's ever seen a banner placed in the base and like, oh, look at it. Look at this banner right now. It's super exciting. Look at it. No one can kill it, and it's buffing creeps for a lane there's nothing in it, you know? Now, place that banner somewhere juicy, you know? Like you go and fight and you put it on a cliff. That's juicy right there.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
I have to imagine at least one time Amar is going to hold on to it and place it on the enemy base.
I guarantee you, dude. Team Spirit's going to play at some lane. They're going to do that thing. Everyone's going to be like, oh my god, it's so high level. And it really was just like some 4K Herald player in a pub that just did it first. Because he didn't know what the hell the thing fucking did.
He didn't even know it buffs creep. He's like, that's cool.
He was just
it's like it's like my clan banner.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on this hill. It looks cool. But I'm telling you, that's actually the best use for it. I'm convinced. Especially in this game, dude. They could banner somewhere, and suddenly you can blink hex this monkey. It's high ground vision.
Okay, but again, they know where you place the banner, so it's like an instantaneous. You have to place and jump, and if you don't get, if you guessed wrong, you don't get the jump, then you have been
whatever. I mean, what's gonna win this game for Invaders right now? Some creeps having slightly more HP top for like a couple minutes, or hexing this Monkey King.
I mean, if they get a pick off in the top lane because Ember Spirit has to go back and push in the lane, then it would be the banner that is buffing up creeps.
Dumb logic out of here, okay? Dota is not a game about logic. Dota is a game about heart and creativity.
When we were casting the finals yesterday, you were talking about how important it is to put the extra effort to do the math, which is a subsection of logic.
I mean, you always make sure you have like one nerd on your team, you know, like some 33 AUI goon who's gonna like sit in the lobby for 10 hours. But everybody else, it's about the heart and friendship and unity and creative decision making. That's what Dota's about, you know.
I'm pretty sure all those words you're using to describe Dota 2's experience do not apply to 90% of the player base. Dark Mago is going to get hexed here, but he's got disruption behind him. No problem. Lumire's coming in from the side. He's going to set up for the Wukong's man. Dark Mago is dead, but look at the Wukongs. It's well set up. If they can only keep these heroes here, the slight chains comes out, but doesn't keep them inside. Lumire's now going to pop outside of his own. He's ready to go with still a BKB. He can chase down the zone.
Monkey.
Got Hex first. He off the BKB. Now he gets it off. Now he turns around. But C-Smile, he has that Aghanim Scepter. He's got the extra shield. He's trying to get away from the cold feet right now. He turns around, goes for Dark Mago, who with the dieback is dead. Lumire has been kited around. Now a second side coming in. Oh, they had so many resources. They're just going to get run down now. C-Smile is carrying this fight and potentially the game for Invaders.
My god, that refresher shard on C-Smile did some work. He got a second Astral off on himself, saves him. Then the Ags pop saves him again. He gets his mana back, hitting the Ember on another clutch Hex out of the line, I believe. So many Hexes doing so much work here for Invaders. They got to the ultra late game. And the Monkey King never got his refresher off. There was no second BKB, no second Wukong in that fight.
Yep. He held on to his first BKB for so long, and it was so unnecessary.
Somehow they found a way to just casually start the fight on this Ember by walking up and hexing him, and it works out. We'll force double core buyback here. How much can they get with this Ember being out for another minute? They're gonna push it. Moon Shard done for C-Smile. He has his 25 talent as well. He is hitting like a truck. Not the buildings, but the heroes. I mean, can they get Megas? It's 40 seconds.
An MKB picked up for Monkey King. I don't know how much that changes this fight, but
He's gonna. We're gonna find out. He's gonna
Wukong's
lock them
man
all in.
goes for the stop, only hits it onto the Tidehunter. C-Smile is able to get himself an imprisonment out of there, but it's going to be the Tide that does fall from that. He's got a second round of smells to be able to put to use here if he wants to. Shadow Demon gets a Glimmer Force Staff out of here. Slotted way too far forward. Oh, big stomp from Oscar.
Double strike.
Hits 3 with Boundless Strike with the Wukong's command coming in once again. That'll wipe out the support. But again, the saves from C-Smile are being quite annoying for Thunder Awaken. MNC, he's willing to turn this one around. He's got the Abaddon as well as the Satanic ready to go. He's really not afraid of them anymore. They've used everything they had. MJZ gets a Force Staff up to the high ground. Dark Mago's back into play with the Boundless Strike on top of these heroes. They still have some resources to go, though. The Ravage coming through. It's Lumiere, stops the damage, and keeps MNC alive long enough. Dark Mago going through these heroes, trying to keep it up with Lifesteal. Oh, the Ice Blast! It's coming in. It'll finish off both of them just in time. But still, C-Smile is the one who's carrying these fights, remember? And they have the buyback of the Gyrocopter. That's just going to be it. Invaders are going to close out this game.
No buyback for the 3 cores. Yeah, that should do it, barring some crazy support gameplay here, which just doesn't look likely. What a ridiculous turn in this game. It looks so hard for so long, but this OD in the late game just completely messed what this monkey wanted to do in the fight with the Astral saves, kiting out the Wukong with the double Hurricane Pikes. Like, the Gyro did not carry this game. It was Outworld Devour here. And he's going to devour your soul and devour your buildings. Claim a Game 1 win. Impressive late game performance here from C-Smile. Showing what this hero is capable of. And feels like it came out of nowhere, but it also, I have to go back to that push bottom, right? Where OD buys back and gets that monkey kill, which leads to them getting Roshan. Like, should that have ever happened in this game? I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not. That was a